Welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. My name is Mark Storrs, and with me, as always, is
Chris Carnicelli.
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you, Mark.
And
Robert Thomas Morphy the second. That's Roman numeral deuce.
thank you, Robert Thomas
Thank you.
Murphy the second.
Bob 2.
Bobby 2.
Bobby Part 2. Thank y'all so very much for joining us. What is happening, everybody out there in the internet worlds? Robert, we have patrons to thank, good sir.
Fuck yeah, we do. Cutting to the chase.
Let's thank them.
No weather report?
No, I was going to go into a whole thing, but I just decided not to.
God
Yeah, no,
bless you.
we lost listeners because of that.
Streamlining? All right. Fair enough. Let us begin with Jake Cole.
Hell yeah,
Yay.
Jake. What's up, brother?
Ingrid Dean.
Hell yeah, Ingrid, what's happening? Thank you so much.
Christopher Southard.
Christopher, what up?
Justin.
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 Justin. Christopher Ball.
Oh, what up, Christopher Ball? He's been a long time listener.
Yep.
Thanks so much for jumping on the Patreon, dude. We appreciate it.
Indeed. Kristen.
I think it's Kirsten.
Kirsten, you're right. Thank you, because Chris is the only one of us that can read. It's not a commonly known fact.
I see letters.
He turns all of my writing into audio. I just give it to him verbally, and so I've got one little earplug in with Chris's voice telling me what to say. I can't read. I'm sorry, Kirsten.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Fucking Rob. Javon Mays.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Travis Hilbert.
Oh, Travis, thank you so much.
The Abbott 13.
Hell yeah, Abbott. The Abbott 13. We appreciate that.
Alex Bonham.
Hell yeah, Alex.
Laramie Daniel Lucas. That has to be a cigarette fucking mascot.
Oh, my God.
Very well could be. Thank you.
Laramie, thank you.
Thank you.
Gabe McDonald will round this motherfucking list up. Gabe,
Awesome. Thank
you
you
are
so
the
very
man, sir.
Thank you so very much, Gabe. Yes, Patreon's available. Patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast. Check it out over there. Bonus audios, all kinds of fun stuff. This past weekend, actually, we had a movie night with Halloween 3, which
It
was
was
super
so
dope.
fun.
So,
God, I love that movie.
yeah, no, it was a good time. I think it was super fun. Was had by all, and I see that no one here is looking me in the eyes. No one's going to address that.
What are you even talking about?
I may have farted on the stream.
When you shit your pants, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Cartoon sound effect. I can't believe it came out of a real ass.
So,
And then somebody remotely in the distance, one of the listeners goes, "Who farted?"
Dude, look, I can see that his mic was lighting up after the shit pantsing in the bowling accident that happened after. And I'm
Yeah,
like, dude, what are you
absolutely.
fucking doing? He's like, nothing, man. I was like, I was muted. I'm like, no, dude. Everyone heard you shit your pants when you're
Mark
bowling.
completely discovered that his mute button didn't work that way.
that may have been one of the fucking. I was laughing so hard afterwards that I couldn't fucking get it together.
You just couldn't
So
function?
I couldn't fucking do it. Our super producer Noah over there on the Discord pointed out that it was a textbook fart.
It was.
So
No, really.
I thought that my mic was muted, and I had been I don't know how many beers in, well over the fucking 10 mark, and I had gotten up to grab one, and I just let one rip, and it just fucking
Like ass to
No,
Mike.
yeah. We're like,
and then everybody on the stream heard it. That's what you're missing over there on the fucking movie nights. If you sign up for Patreon, you can hear me fucking fart into a mic
Yeah,
accidentally.
through classic 80s pop camp horror.
Oh, God. But that movie night was super fun. Thank you to everybody over there that hung out with us and watched Halloween 3 Seasons of the Witch. It was super dope. This week, holy shit, we are doing the Horrible Hag of Detroit. In the early 1960s, a family moved into a modest house in Detroit, Michigan, never once suspecting that their new home was already occupied by an insidious entity that seemed hell-bent on tormenting anyone who dared enter her room.
Don't go in that room.
oh, snap.
No,
you got a haunted
can't.
room? You board it up.
Do you think if she live streams when she farts, she mutes her mic?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Okay,
Wow.
good. Cool.
Evil entities never
They
mute
just,
their
they
farts.
just let them roll. Cool.
Just like you.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to give a shout out here to our good buddy Matt Drew, who not only sent this book, and we just gave him a shout out because it's pretty recent, Brad Steger's The Awful Thing in the Attic, but actually took the time to put in a little Post-it note
Oh,
in the
shit.
shape of a TARDIS
Oh, that's so
indicating that he
Oh.
thought this is one of the better stories, and absolutely he's right. I've always loved Brad Steger's work. I know sometimes people are a little iffy on him, but I mean, he's been around. He was a paranormal investigator. He was just probably one of the most prolific paranormal writers in history, and his stories are quick and in and out, but it has turned me on to a lot of cool ideas like the terrible flying jelly bags and other things.
Oh, nice.
That have led to like deeper research and fascinating shit. So, due to a lot of different circumstances, not the least of which is I love his writing, we are actually going to read his chapter from The Awful Thing in the Attic by Brad Steger, and of course, as Mark said, it's The Horrible Hag of Detroit. And without further ado,
Nice.
when the William Adams family moved into the gray frame house on Martin Street in Detroit, Michigan, only the children and the dog seemed to sense that something loathsome had made its abode in the back bedroom. You can tell that he's obviously an influence on my writing.
Boy.
Children and dogs.
Children and dogs.
Always trust them.
There was certainly nothing about the physical appearance of the room that made William and his wife Lillian suspect that the small bedroom could hold a thing of unspeakable terror. For one thing, it was such a tiny room. There's only space enough in the minuscule enclosure for a bed and a built-in closet in one corner. Because it was so small and so far removed from the rest of the house, William used to sleep in it when he came home from the midnight shift at the Cadillac plant. Old-time
Cadillac plant.
Detroit,
I like this
early
guy.
60s.
Dude's got his own bedroom. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, he's just got that little sleepaway bedroom so he doesn't go up the creaky-ass stairs and wake up the kids and the wife. It's polite. It's kind of him.
I have a futon in the basement
Do you ever use it?
all the time.
So you don't wake up the
I
kids?
just take little tiny naps during the day. No one even knows where I am. I just steal away like, ha ha. I just take a little nap.
Oh, dad nap.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Quote, even after years of working the midnight shift, William explained, I still have trouble sometimes sleeping in the daytime, end quote. It was not long before Adams noticed the strange and uncomfortable effect that the back room seemed to have on him. Quote, I started having the most horrible nightmares you can imagine, he said later to a reporter from the Detroit Free Press. Quote, they would leave me limp with fear because they were so real. I would find myself sitting in the bed screaming until my throat was sore. That's fucked up.
That's terrible.
Jesus.
One of the dreams was when I found myself opening a door and a mutilated body fell out, end quote.
Huh?
Yeah. That's,
Okay. All right.
that's heavy.
All right.
You do something, William? You passed?
Oh, my God.
Coming back?
Okay.
The ghastly nightmares began to rob Adams of so much sleep that he told his wife, if this doesn't stop, I don't know what I'll do. I'm about ready to see a psychiatrist. And those are heady words in the early 60s.
Well, yeah, when you're having dreams of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I mean.
Yeah, when you're the final girl and all the bodies are falling out of the summer camp at you.
Yeah, for real. Jesus.
It's fucking on. It was only after he had resumed sleeping in the master bedroom that he began to associate the nightmares with the back bedroom. Quote, I didn't have any bad dreams when I slept in our bedroom. The nightmares would only come when I slept in that terrible room. In August of 1962, Adams's grandmother came to visit them from Georgia. Both the Adamses assumed that Bill's reaction to the room had been some kind of personal association, so they gave Grandma Adams the back bedroom for her use during her stay. The next morning, she came out to the breakfast table, pale and shaken. There are terrible sounds in that room, she told them. All night long, I thought someone was trying to break in. I refused to sleep in that room again.
See, Graham.
Gross.
Graham getting scared.
And
Not
when
good.
Graham can't have it, then no one can have it.
I mean, technically, she's going to be like the
Malark.
first. She's going to be the first to go there. So, I mean, she kind of has to do her part. And
Oh yeah, no.
sleep
She, in a horror film, she's the meat.
Got to be.
Absolutely, she's so expendable. I'm not saying the elderly are expendable in life. I'm just talking about horror film protocols here.
It happens, dude.
So, Grandmother Adams became so uneasy in the house that she cut short her stay and returned to Georgia. No more.
No, Graham's is out.
Dang.
No more fucking around.
That's the way to get the relatives out of there. Go ahead and sleep in the fucking
Oh,
creepy
yeah.
bedroom with the fucking mutilated
wait.
bodies.
Oh, Billy, your grandma's coming, huh? Yeah. No, this is going to be fun.
Makes Christmas real short.
Oh, shit. For the first time, Bill and Lillian began to realize that there was something terrible about that room. They began to recall things, small things that had seemed inconsequential at the time. They remembered, for example, that their small terrier refused to enter the room. That 8-year-old Jimmy, 6-year-old Deborah, 5-year-old Johnny, and 2-year-old Lori, prolific breeders.
Yeah, it's a lot of kids.
And
Jeez.
the baby Tammy. I wasn't even
there's
done
a
yet.
Baby Tammy?
Baby T.
Oh.
Nobody ever sees Baby T coming at you.
Little Timmy in the guff.
Oh,
I don't
gosh.
even know what's happening.
Always avoided the room when they played about the house.
Because they're fucking smart, that's why.
Hell yeah, Baby T knows. You don't go in the back room. What strange thing was tainting the atmosphere in that tiny back bedroom? I don't.
Taint.
Taint really gets under my skin. It's not just, the skin under the nuts kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
that it just feels like corrupted or spoiled or
what it
nasty. I know it. I know I'm literally just fucking dictionarying it, but still, it makes me feel that. Like I say that word and all of a sudden I feel like I got to brush my tongue a little bit.
Yeah, because it's fucked up. It's
Yeah,
gross.
let's go. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's nasty.
Tainting the room. On October 27th, an old friend from Georgia, Shirley Patterson,
Dope.
arrived to spend a few days with the Adamses in Detroit before he moved on. Oh, I like that. Crazy, gender non-specific Shirley. Awesome. Drove a new car back home to Decatur. Adams knew that Patterson was a practical, matter-of-fact Southerner. And that's all that sentence was. I added emphasis like it was going to
Yeah,
go on, but it
Southerner.
didn't.
Period.
Let me try that again. Adams knew he was no nonsense, not fucking around, Decatur bred man. So, Adams, oh, Jesus Christ. Bill and Lillian decided he would be their final test. All right, that's not what you
The
do to a
final
friend.
test.
Oh, my practical friend is up from Decatur. He will be the final test.
Yeah, hopefully you're not super good friends with them.
Yeah, because that shit can go south
Yeah.
real quick. I'm anticipating it does.
Okay.
All right. If Patterson could spend the night in the back bedroom without suffering any ill effects or reporting anything strange, perhaps they had merely let their imaginations gain the upper hand. They would not even mention their own unpleasant experiences with the room. Well, yeah, otherwise it's not a fucking test.
Right.
Patterson, you need a control group, would be able to explode all the fantasies they had built up about the room, if indeed nothing happened.
Okay.
Quote, I didn't know anything about the room, Patterson said later. There was no reason for me to suspect anything, no reason to be afraid. It seems that I was in the bed for just a few minutes. I don't know whether I was asleep or not. I was facing the wall, and then I felt something turn me over.
Nobody wants the forced turnover.
No.
Oh.
And I don't mean dessert.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, here's an apple turnover.
Because it's delicious.
Then you take it and
apple
fucking
turnover.
eat it.
Here's your ghostly turnover. Thanks, Hag.
That's not what I was talking about,
Nope.
jerk.
I know. Oh, my God.
Can I point this out? A ghostly turnover?
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to go down in podcast history for this podcast. The ghostly turnover.
No human turns in this fashion. Have you guys ever been turned in bed by somebody that just decided to had free fucking reign in your room?
No.
No.
I feel like it's happened to me, but only
What?
like during like emergencies or dumb shit or like
No, that's never. I mean,
Or-
my kids wake me up, but they don't turn me over.
I've been lucky enough. This is a good thing to have some late night turnover booty calls, and you turn over and you're pissed because someone pushes you in your sleep or pulls you, and you're like, "The fuck are you?" Oh, welcome. But I don't believe this is what's happening to Shirley.
No.
I don't think Shirley is getting the perks here.
No.
So the ghostly turnover. Don't ask me to describe the feeling. All I know is that it rolled me over. Then I saw it standing outside the bedroom door. So here's another thing. You can't describe what it felt like. Like, don't ask me to tell. It was like a full body whip around.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like two hands grasp him and pull him because he can't.
I think it was
That's
just
describable.
a normal speed rollover.
Yeah.
Like if it was super fast, probably be like, oh, it fucking like.
Yeah, you fucking your
Whip me,
gestures were
right?
flawless. No, I agree, but the fact that he said, "Don't ask me to describe it," implies to me that it was
weird.
something
Yeah.
indescribable, like an Octoman, for example.
Oh.
I was being moved and not using my muscles.
There you go.
There it is.
Levitation.
You're welcome.
But of course, I'm sleeping on the elephant in the room because it was standing outside the bedroom door.
Oh no.
At first, I thought it was Lillian, but I started to tremble. It was a woman with long hair, and she had her back to me looking into the kitchen. She was wearing a short fur coat and a kind of blue dress. Patterson screamed as loud as he could and ran toward the figure. At the moment he approached it, every light in the house simultaneously went out.
This guy pulled the John Rambo.
The full John
And he's
Rambo.
just like, it's never over. And he just fucking did it. He fucking went
It's
full bore.
never over.
See, I don't know.
I'm still here.
Yeah, like he's
I never left.
Shirley had some balls here, because if that happens to me, I might literally be frozen in paralytic horror until a merciful heart attack claims me and takes me to a better place. Because I don't know if I have the guts to shoot past a thing that's silhouetted in a doorway.
This is every horror video game.
Oh, it really
Like it just ramps up. So you move, you look, all of a sudden it's in the corridor. Lights go out when you get near it.
Yeah, it's a jump scare. You're
It's
totally right.
100%.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's an online fucking horror game jump scare completely.
Totally.
Except in 1960 and apparently real life.
Yeah.
So he continued to stumble around in the darkness until a moment later the lights came back on again. He met Lillian in the kitchen. Bill had left shortly before for the midnight shift at the plant. In the bedroom, Patterson began. I saw his words of explanation were suddenly interrupted by a terrible wailing. A mournful, half-human, half-animal sound that left both of them speechless with fright. That's fucking terrible.
Nobody likes wailing.
All right, listen, I want to tell you what's going on. Ah! And you're just like, oh my God, that's it. Can we record?
Yeah.
Can we use this recording for a
Fuck
ringtone?
yeah.
Because when Chris calls me, that's all I want to hear for the rest of my life.
I have a new website called wailing.org. If you need a whale, call me.
A howl.
Not a fucking sea creature.
No,
Nope.
just wailing by Chris.
No, it's the
Absolutely
sound of
not.
the damned.
There-
Wow.
Wailing.org.
It was like nothing I'd ever heard before, Lillian Adams recalled later. And then there was an awful smell that made both of us sick. It was coming from the room where we had heard the moaning.
Ghost farts.
Oh, I was going to say.
Ghost farts.
Did you
dude.
shit your pants in that room?
I didn't shit my pants on the stream. I just farted. I got a beer. I got up and I farted. That's what I do. I'm a 41-year-old dude. I was drinking a bunch of beers. I fucking
Totally
my
shit your
stomach-
pants.
You know, I do
didn't shit
find
my
In
pants.
front of
my-
the nation.
in my old age with my old ass lower intestines and colon, like sometimes I'll just bend over to pick up a pen or something and I'll rip a juicy one that I had no idea was like brewing in the fucking and you know the conclaves of my anus. I don't think that's the right way to say anything. Either way, the surprise bend over fart, it happens with age apparently.
I mean, I literally just stood up and it happened because I thought I was muted. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it, rip a fart, grab a beer. And then all of a sudden it's a thing.
For a second, you're like, here's my chance. Mute. Look, excuse me?
All right, we're ruining the mood. They're speechless with fucking fright.
Oh,
All right, can
sorry.
we get back into the
Yes.
vibe of the whole thing?
All right, wailing.org.
Old man farts. Criminy. Oh god damn it, Mark! You can't stop laughing now.
Just thinking about it, it's just.
It's funny.
Oh god, we're 12.
Yeah.
We're old men who are 12.
Cryptonaut Podcast. Welcome to the show, people.
Oh, God bless you. If this is your first episode, you're welcome, and I'm sorry at
Yeah.
the same time. Okay. As if the unearthly moaning and the nauseating stench were not enough, a heavy trapdoor in the floor of the utility room raised itself several inches into the air, then fell back into place again. Below the trapdoor was a flimsy set of stairs that led to a partially dug out basement.
No, see?
Nope. First up, dirt basements? Nope.
Crapola.
Nopey nope. Flimsy stairs, always, and terrifying, and fuck. And the trapdoor, how Evil Dead do you need to be?
I was going to say that's totally
Trapdoor.
Evil Dead.
Oh,
yeah.
100%. Like, that ruined trapdoors for everybody forever. But again, real life, years before.
No, God.
Specifically 18, I think. But anyway. Freeing themselves at last from the spell of terror that had completely engulfed them, the frightened man and woman called the police. It's reasonable. I mean, what the fuck are they going to do? But
Yeah.
within a few minutes, officers were searching the house from attic to incompleted basement. they were able to find nothing that would give a rational explanation to the apparition which Patterson had seen or the eerie moaning and sickening odor which both Patterson and Lillian Adams had noted. When Adams got home from the plant on Sunday morning, October 28th, his wife and friend were up waiting for him. As calmly as they could, they told him what they had experienced that night. "I'm not the kind of guy who believes in ghosts. At least I didn't then," Adams said. "I'm a grown man with a family. I've been in the Army. I just couldn't convince myself that there was anything to it. I had to try again and see what would happen." That night, at about 7:30 p.m., Adams lay down on the bed in the back bedroom. He had reached a decision that night. Once and for all, he would either conquer whatever inhabited the room or he would admit defeat and let the thing have the bedroom and the house to itself.
Oh, wow.
It's
All right.
rational. Like, it's rational in the sense that, like, all right, I'm do or die. I'm going to do this, but if it doesn't work, I'm the
Yeah,
fuck
but
out.
look, what's the do?
But what are you going to do?
Yeah, look, where's,
Exactly.
What are you
Like,
gonna,
how do you win? If it shows, I mean, we're going to see what happens, but what the fuck?
if you get the turnovering,
Yes, the screaming rot flesh flip, no fuck
yeah,
in bed, then you're fucking. I mean,
yeah. I
no
don't know.
victory.
You got to.
Well, let's see.
Lose.
Well, he's got to have. We'll see what he does. There's got to be a plan here, right? He's got to have some kind of plan.
He was in the Army. He's got a plan.
The stand up, straight up, had no.
He's a grown ass man with a family.
no
yeah,
dreams
I mean,
guy.
You got to have mortars involved.
No
but
dreams
yeah,
guy. Hard working. All right. He had lain in the bedroom for quite some time when he thought he heard Lillian moving in the room. He had left his friend and his wife sitting silently in the front room with a small table lamp providing their only light. "Lil," Adams whispered sharply, "you better leave the room if we're ever going to get anything settled. It probably won't show itself if there's two of us in here." There was no answer and no sound of movement, but Adams still sensed a presence in the room. I turned over and the face was inches away from me. It was the most horrible thing I had ever seen. The eyes stared past me and the mouth moved to talk, but only a hissing noise came out and a terrible stench.
undead breath.
And you know, just
But a hiss?
someone just staring through you.
Gross.
And the mouth
Gross.
gasping with that kind of silent fish like fucking, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm making a sound, no sound, and then you
But just
smell that
hiss.
horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know, moving lips without words and the 1,000-yard stare on a horrible haggard face, inches away from you. Oh, it's just
Yeah,
too
just
much.
laying there hanging out.
It's in the hiss, like you guys were saying.
Yeah, this is at the apex of awful.
Oh, it really is.
For
Well
sure.
said. By the way, you're writing the next pod. I'm so proud of you with that. Look at that fucking alliteration.
You know why? Because I cut my hair.
Yeah, you did.
I
And it
got
looks
smarter.
good.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, I do
smarter.
miss Christ Lord Love Mark, but
Nah,
but
I'm
you
over
look
that.
good. You
Yeah.
look slick.
Oh, yeah.
And it really makes your beard seem more pronounced. You're a
Thank you.
handsome fella.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hissing and terrible stench. All right.
Man.
Adams ran out of the back bedroom in a state of near hysteria. He was screaming wildly, and he ripped handfuls of hair from his head as he ran into the kitchen. That's
Who
fucking
the fuck does that?
Why would you
wild.
do that? Have you ever had the hair ripped from your head? Like,
Yes, it's terrible.
it hurts.
I mean, when I had hair and I was young, yes, it's a nightmare. It's something that
All
you
right.
never forget.
Well, this guy's clearly affected by the I don't know, stinky fuckery happening
Yep, the
because
stinky
he's pulling
fuckery.
the hair out of his head. So, all right, well,
Yeah, giving
problematic.
himself a fucking skull Brazilian
Yeah, really.
from sheer fucking horror.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's nuts. Patterson tried to grab him and hold him down, but Adams flailed away from his friend as if he were berserk. Oh, so he literally was driven mad. Like something like the Nameless Horror of Berkeley Square, all
Yeah.
those old
Yeah.
classic ghost stories where, you know, you see the specter and you are driven out of your mind.
Insanity.
Yeah, we see that in all
Yeah.
the movies too. They run, they're just like,
Lunacy.
bleh, and then they start doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that old Hammer films
No.
used to do that all the time.
I wish people could see the
I
fucking
know.
gestures that Chris makes because he's so animated. He's in there
You know,
above his head.
Someday we are going to record these sessions and you can get the full
Oh, it's
Monty,
funny.
Yeah.
fully clothed Monty of us being asses. And Chris's antics are fucking a delight.
They
Yeah.
are brilliant.
Yep, I'm doing it right now. I'm moonwalking.
Oh, he is too.
I'm juggling.
It's amazing.
Juggling turnovers.
God, I wish you could see it. Not ghostly turnovers.
Paranormal
blueberry.
turnovers.
Okay. Hissing noises, berserk, madness. We set the tone.
All right.
Finally, Lillian and Patterson managed to throw a blanket over Bill and wrestle him to the fuck-sucking floor. I added that. Mr. Steger didn't write that.
You might have to just, I don't know, get a bunch of oranges in a pillowcase and beat him a little bit.
Beat him with a
You gotta
bag
treat
of
him like a
oranges.
gator, right?
Get him to calm
They're
down.
they're and then you throw a blanket and they're like, oh, well, that's fine.
If you cover their
Oh,
eyes,
yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, exactly.
No problem. I'm safe now.
Yeah, and then beat him with a bag of oranges to fucking get him to calm down.
Absolutely.
There you
But
go.
it is fucking incredible because if this happened as told, and, I always like to give the benefit of the doubt, then this dude, I mean, now we'd all be terrified. The moving lips, the terrible face, the
for
staring
sure.
eyes,
Yeah,
the
totally.
hiss, the stench, all up in your grill. All of it's terrifying and terrible, but to literally be driven mad temporarily, hopefully, and have to run out and be subdued by your wife and your best buddy with a fucking blanket as bloody hunks of hair are in your clenched white-knuckled grips. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's gonna be a tough year, man.
It is.
Real tough year.
The same nauseating stench they had noticed the night before once again permeated the house. An hour after, Bill had regained his senses and told of the ghastly and indescribably evil face that he had seen. The house on Martin Street was empty. Adams had admitted defeat. The horrid hag could keep her bedroom and her house. They grabbed the sleeping children from their beds and fled in the night to neighbors.
Oh, poltergeist.
Yeah,
But not a hotel.
Amityville.
But,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
classic.
Totally. The next morning, they moved in with Mrs. Adams' parents who lived in Dearborn, a suburb of Detroit. So they literally were fucking, like he called it. Either I'm going to arm wrestle her into submission or whatever the fuck he thought he was going to do. Army dad plans.
Yeah.
Or he was going to give it up. And then they did. They just scammed out with the kids and were like, done.
Yeah,
Fuck
no.
you. Fuck this house. Fuck it all. And I don't blame them. That's the reaction you'd expect. I know I've read plenty of accounts of people that just, they can't leave. Financially, they can't leave. I get it. Being homeless is not an option. Sometimes you got to like suck it up. But if you have family or friends that, are cool and can have the capacity to let you stay with them, that actually adds a lot of veracity to these
For
accounts
sure.
to me.
Yeah,
because you're just
for sure.
fucking gone.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even though the Lutzes of Amityville fame are still kind of suspect, and someday we're going to deal with that to, maybe in a multiple parter. But all right, that's neither here nor there. I just find that really kind of impressive. All I could think of that next morning, Adams remarked, was that if the bedroom door had been closed that Sunday night, I would have killed myself beating against it to get out.
Oh, okay.
Clearly in the state he was.
Yeah, wow.
With the help of friends and relatives, the Adamses found another house to rent and moved all of their furniture out of the house on Martin Street during a series of daylight visits. Mrs. Adams' brother, Leo Sinaki, what a name, and her sister Virginia arrived at the house one night to see for themselves if there was anything to Lillian and Bill's wild tale of an ugly hag that haunted the back bedroom. I stood out in the kitchen, and Leo said he was going to lie down on the bed for 10 minutes in the dark, said Virginia Sinaki. A few minutes later, I heard this awful groan come from the back bedroom. If it was Leo, I have never heard him make a sound like that before. Then he came rushing through the door into the kitchen with the most horrible look on his face, like he was scared out of his mind. I asked him what he saw, but he wouldn't tell me anything. Leo Sinaki refused to disclose what he had seen in that back bedroom in the house on Martin Street in Detroit.
Oh, come on, Leo. You got to let us know.
Oh, we know. We know.
I mean,
We already know.
saw hag.
I mean, unless you saw like a 3-dick minotaur or something, in which case,
I mean, that
equal
would
horror.
be a surprise.
Surely would.
Yeah.
You're right. Undescribed means it could be anything.
Yeah. I mean, if you literally saw a minotaur, if you will, with 3 dicks, you could clearly describe that.
You could.
Minotaur?
Probably.
3 dicks.
But he didn't want to. I don't think he was incapable of describing. I think he refused.
Yeah, that's what it says. It says he refused
Yeah,
to
because,
close.
you
The
know,
horror.
so he just didn't want to scare his sister, apparently, because it was the brother and sister team. They, Lily and siblings are obviously Leo's skeptical as shit. He's like, I'm not fuck that. But then he's not going to share the ultimate horror with his sister because you protect your sister, especially if it's a little sister. It's what you do.
Yeah.
I'm a big brother. We're all big brothers. We know.
I would definitely tell my sister to scare the shit out of her. I'd be like, Sarah, you're never going to guess what happened.
You have to terrify them,
Well,
but
yeah.
you terrify them on your own terms, and then you maybe try to protect them from other things.
Or you're just like, hey, you know what? It was totally fine. I laid down. Everything was good. You should go lay down and check it out.
Oh, my God, you're the worst. You are the worst big brother ever. Now we know your dark secret.
She's hard as nails. She's fine.
She really is. And as the landlady absolutely refused to let any investigators into the house with any electronic equipment, it is unlikely that we shall ever know what mission kept the horrible hag haunting that bedroom in Detroit.
This episode is brought to you by Kaspersky Labs, the transatlantic cable podcast. Rarely does a day pass where a ransomware attack, data breach, or state-sponsored espionage hit the news. As a matter of fact, just last week it was disclosed that GoDaddy's managed WordPress hosting was hacked. The problem here is that the hackers had access to everyone's passwords because they were stored in plain text. That's a problem, so if you were a part of that, be on the lookout for an email from GoDaddy and be sure to secure your WordPress websites. It's hard to keep up with all this, but don't worry, Kaspersky's got you covered. Each week, their team looks at the latest news and stories and topics that you may have missed during the week on the Transatlantic Cable Podcast, mixing in-depth discussion, expert guests from all around the world, a pinch of humor, and all in an easy-to-consume style. Be sure to check them out today. They're available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Thus ends Mr. Steger's excellent depiction of the haunted hag of Detroit, or horrible hag, excuse me.
This ended with just the landlord leaving it being like, yeah, no, good luck, I got people moving in. So this could be active still today.
It could be. And this book was first printed in 1995.
Oh, cool.
The story hailed from 1962.
Nice.
So, I mean, who knows? Who knows what's happened to these houses, if it's been gentrified, destroyed, if it's still being occupied.
Yeah.
We don't even know for sure if it's low income or not, because somebody working at a Cadillac plant in the early 60s probably still made a decent living.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's no way of knowing. But also when you're supporting, I know, Baby T and fucking the 14 other kids in their brood, that's going to cost a pretty penny. So maybe they were living a little bit lower. But either way, this house, if it's still there, could very well be occupied by this entity.
Yeah, so I guess we got to kind of break this down like skeptically.
You have to.
Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind skeptically, slow gas leak.
All right.
Gas leak.
Elaborate.
People just being in there, getting fucked up, not having enough oxygen, hallucinating, seeing shit.
Have you ever heard of cases where gas leaks result in that?
No, but you can. I'm trying to think of something, maybe not gas, because I think gas would really be more like an explosion, I'm going to assume.
Sure.
But I'm trying to think of something that could be happening environmentally that would make everybody, like, if it's like mold, could make you hallucinate, I think, get you all sick and shit.
Don't you have to, like, eat it?
No, I think you can
Breathe it in,
breathe
maybe?
it in.
Yeah, spores fucking suck.
You're right. Yeah, no,
Get
fungus
all up in your shit.
That room over there,
It's a nightmare.
If we take one big breath, we're all dead.
That's why
Like,
we all wear fucking respirators on our way down to the studio.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm just thinking maybe something environmentally might be causing this.
High magnetic frequencies from whatever source might
Yeah,
have been
it just
around.
seems like again, skeptically, look, I love the hag. I'm all about the nasty
Sure.
breath and the stank farts coming from her mouth. That's fine. That's her jam. I respect what she does.
Totes.
But if everyone's experiencing this thing constantly happening, especially with, starting off, you got the kids, you got the dogs, everyone in the house doing it, maybe there's something in there that's causing them to have some weird, like, auditory or visual hallucinations.
Well, one thing that kind of lends a little bit of credibility to your theory is that a noxious scent is, sulfur and other rotting corpse smell are associated with a lot of hauntings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're a paranormalist, a Fortean, then you can be like, boom. But if you want to, like you say, put on your skeptic's hat and try to look at it legitimately, that could also be some sort of noxious fume leak.
Yeah,
whether it be gas or something else or something from like a sewer pipe or I don't even know. I don't know anything about pipes and the shit that's in them, but I do know that sometimes nasty things can come up, and maybe they could trigger hallucinations. My problem with it would be this. You would think it would be a myriad of just psycho fucking tropic mayhem where, you know, Baby T is seeing unicorns and Billy G is riding a wave of green Kool-Aid or something. Like, I mean, I don't know what you'd be seeing, but it seems like it would not be limited to one room and one specific thing.
Very true. Very
yeah,
true.
that's a little odd, but and then like at the end, like the dude was only in there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's and it's got to be a pretty heavy duty leak of something.
I would.
It only
Oh,
takes
that's true.
10
That's
minutes
absolutely. I didn't even think about that, Chris. Yeah.
If it was contained to that room, I mean, obviously, slow gas leak wouldn't work because one cigarette and you're all dead.
Yeah.
That's it. It would blow the fuck up.
And they absolutely, someone was smoking in 1960.
100%. Yeah, I was gonna. Okay. So yeah, maybe if it was something contained to that room that was causing it, it just I don't know. Chris brings up a good point though. That would have to be something really fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like something that's just gonna hit you, and all of a sudden you're like hallucinating.
Yeah, there's no way the landlord wouldn't know. Like if she went in there, like I mean, there's no
something
like
in that room was happening. All right. So skeptically, I may have been knocked on a couple pegs. No big deal. That's what I'm here for.
But also, she doesn't want anybody investigating it. So she could easily be a shitty landlord that just doesn't want anybody to find the shit that's wrong with her house.
She knows there's the big Freon leak.
Or something, right? Maybe
Yeah.
she does know there's some sort of weird fucking electrical thing because she didn't want people fucking in there poking around.
What's that shit in my house? Remember, I had to get the radon,
radon.
the radon mitigation system. I don't really know if that's a thing though. Like back in Detroit, I know here it's a thing just because of where we're located. So I don't know if, I think like radon is something that's like years and years and years of exposure. I'm trying to think of something that would be like instantly like could affect you.
Yeah,
you know, your auditory.
Well, within 10 minutes, clearly.
Which is the big one. So, all right, if we're speaking spirit.
All right. Well, before we get there,
okay.
In terms of the landlady doing something very practical, like not wanting a legitimate problem found out because it would be very expensive to repair it, even if it endangers her tenant's life.
Right.
Okay. But also it could be one of two other things. One, bad press about hauntings. Hauntings now would appeal to people, and
it's huge.
And ghost investigators buy, like I know Zach Baggins bought a house, and this other ghost group I read about bought a house, and people buy fucking houses all the time to fucking see ghosts. It's an allure in the 21st century. Back then, that could have really been a taboo, a black stain on a reputation of a home, and that people might avoid it, and so that would not be practical for her to want to advertise it. Or B, there's a dirt basement. There's a very specific displeased entity. Maybe she's got a secret that's fucking buried in there that she doesn't want
a former tenant, perhaps
proper investigation into.
Oh.
Well, either way, everything is sus. With her.
Everything's super sus with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you would think she would want somebody in there to debunk something like that. You can do that secretly. You can hire your own people, not let people know.
Yeah.
Right.
And do that and be like, yeah, there's nothing wrong. We had these fucking tests done.
Or maybe it's just easier for her to get the next group of tenants in, have them not know anything, and eat it.
And if it is, if it is something environmental, her covering it up 100% will be like, yeah, I'm not addressing this shit. Don't worry about it. Boom, keeps just moving on to the next fucking person. Okay, so if we're speaking strictly spirit here, right?
Okay,
we got some
let's
old
move to
hag in the basement. It's happening. I mean, classic haunting case.
Vintage. Old hag is just.
Yeah, this is the one.
I mean, sleep paralysis is the phenomenon of the old hag, and it didn't specifically sit on anyone, but it was whipping them around and getting in their grill.
The rollover.
So maybe the face sitting. I mean, the chest sitting.
The face sitting?
I didn't even mean to say that.
Chris's eyes.
I feel like you did.
I honestly didn't. It's funny. I would have said
clear as day.
We know who was looking up shit on X videos today. It would be Mr. Robert Morby.
Oh my God. So yeah, no, it's how I want to go, but that's not the point. Maybe that was going to be the next progression, but this doesn't seem to be that kind of demonic. But maybe it is. I mean, why am I taking that off the table? Like right next to the diabetic devil, we haven't fucking have room for anything.
Other than rolling somebody over, it didn't do much except disappear, appear, made some lights go out.
And it's
whale.
Yeah.
Whale.
Fucking
whale.org, yes.
And
it is only contained to one room.
Yeah.
So only being in one room, that's going to kind of like... I don't know how that works, man. Is she trapped there for some reason? Is her corpse in the wall? Like what happened?
No, because she was in the corridor.
Oh, I thought she was only stuck in the room.
No, I don't think she was in the corridor, Chris. I think it's a room that leads directly off the back of the house, connected to the kitchen, and she was standing in the doorway, facing the kitchen. But I don't think I don't think there's any corridor.
She was in. I thought that was in.
I mean, really, if you think about it, if you want to be practical about this, and this is in your house, and this is a problem, like if you have a bad back porch, you're like, just don't fucking go on it because it'll collapse and kill everybody.
Sure.
If this room was over to the side, it's just haunted, but she's not coming out the rest of the house. Fuck it, whatever. Store shit in there. Use it as storage. Don't leave your house. Oh, it was a rental, so I guess that really wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's practical, Mark. Being like, our kids don't go in that room because there's an evil spirit of a fucking hag.
Right.
If you fall asleep in there,
may or may not be a demon.
Yeah.
Might be just a dead lady in the dirt basement under the trap door.
Yeah.
So the problem,
there's workarounds for this.
Yeah, but something that induces you to literally rip your hair out, need to be beat down under a blanket by your wife and best buddy, and you don't get your shit together for a full fucking hour.
Yeah.
That is the kind of shit where you have kids. You know, lots of kids. So you got to get the fuck out. That's just the responsible, good parent thing to do. Go. Immediately.
Yeah, and because they were renting, it's not like you're really losing money if it's a rental. You're just renting it. It's not like it's all of a sudden my house, I have the fucking goat in the basement or something.
They might have bought the house. Like it's not super specified. It says let me open it up.
Well, no, they said something about going to another rental. So then I was like, oh, so they must be renting the house.
Right. They moved into a gray frame house on Martin Street in Detroit. So they only say moved in. So they don't. It could have been a rental.
But there's also the landlady too there that didn't let anybody get in there. So we'll say for the sake of argument here that it's a rental.
I don't find that has much of a bearing either way, but I know what you're saying. More of a personal investment.
But yeah, I mean,
if it's a rental, so yes, it does.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to discuss it anymore.
Right. So I mean, worst case, this is a workaround. You can work around it. You know, just be like, just don't go back there, kids. No big deal.
Yeah, but could you imagine? Like you could board it up. But every time you're in the kitchen getting a snack at night, every time you're alone cooking, you know, Lillian, it probably was at the time, being the mode of the day, you're constantly glancing over your shoulder. You're constantly getting this cold, eerie sensation. Even if it's all psychological, it would still be detrimental after a while. You can't dread your kitchen. Of all fucking rooms, your shitter in your kitchen have to be places you look forward to being to do whatever business you have to do. And it's
true.
And bedroom too. All right, every room in your house, you know,
I mean,
hopefully it's someplace you enjoy being.
Yeah.
But you can't not want to be in your fucking kitchen.
True. All right, so if you got to deal with They obviously moved out. I mean, I think this is probably well before like ghost hunting and doing the whole salt and bringing in the big box of crystals and
there were people like Steger
calling the Lord or whatever
by the late 60s.
Maybe.
That were already doing the proto ghost investigating. And there were certainly, when you go back to even like Houdini's days and stuff with the whole spiritualist movement.
Oh yeah,
there were people. So there were people, but not organized, not quick to action, maybe like today, and certainly not as technologically equipped as dubious as some of that might be. They're at least there, and you have people to call. And maybe you'll get some information you wouldn't have had before.
I got some pictures of some orbs if you want to check them out.
I do not.
All right, fine.
Thank you.
Chris wants to look at them.
No, I enjoy pictures of dust.
He's so dismissive. No. I don't want to look at you stupid orbs, Mark. You stupid orbs.
So is she dead in the fucking basement? Is this a demon? And if she's dead in the basement, why is she haunting the back room? Is she behind the wall, like you said?
It has to do with the room.
Guarantee you, dude, she's probably behind the wall.
But the haunting did go so far. The only time it extended out of the room was the scent.
When you open the door.
And the opening of the Evil Dead cracking of the trap door.
Dude, she could be down there, dude.
It does say when he got turned over, he saw the thing outside the bedroom door.
Outside?
That's what it says.
Really? Okay, so I wonder then if that means it's almost like turning him over to like show him like I'm here.
What if the body, just going on this idea, was buried in the basement, which requires entry through the trap door,
right?
Like somewhere in between the back room and the kitchen, because I assume based on what I was reading, the trap door was in the floor of the kitchen. Did you?
I assume it was the floor.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, it's in the floor. I mean, I assume it's in the kitchen.
It would have to be sort of close. It's not like it'd be halfway across the room and they're like, the house, and they're like, oh, hey, look what happened over here in the living room.
Well, if it was some sort of old weird root cellar, then it would make sense. It has to be like in the kitchen or something.
Totally.
Huh.
So this thing,
that could have been the linchpin right there, dude. You go down there and look, and you just find the body all fucked up, and you got to give it the proper burial.
There has to be.
and then
There's
she's
a reason.
done.
There's a path from the bedroom there,
Right.
And it's not anywhere else. It's the bedroom to the specific path to the door in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if something were buried down there in the dirt floor, it would maybe fuck with the trapdoor. It could occupy the room right above where it's buried.
Yeah, I mean, is there a weird rule that you can only go like a story up and like a story
I've
over?
never heard of any such thing.
I have no idea.
And this thing isn't like a visual apparition, like the way they say some ghosts are just this repeating video that is captured in the quartz of the rock of the wall rather than a videotape or a DVD or whatever medium is going to be popular in the future. And it's not that. It's engaging.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, as terrifying as it is, the rotten smell, not good. Very often associated, demonologists will instantly tell you that's a demon, not a ghost. Well, most demonologists are super Christian and they don't believe in ghosts, so it's all demons. But they would still say the rotten scent is just a clear-cut case of a demon. The hissing mouth, the face, all that stuff. It's just assuming a form of like, I guess, a crazy old flapper or something. For coat wearing.
Crazy old flapper.
I don't know why I made her a flapper. I'll be honest. I just imagined her that way. But actually, in my mind, she looks like an emaciated, like chisel-faced Cruella de Vil. Well, she's already emaciated with like a wild hair and a big fur coat and bony limbs. So if it is a demon, then that's that, and it's just assuming a form, and this house needs an exorcism. If it is a ghost, maybe it's a person that lived in the house. Maybe it's somebody that was killed in the house or committed suicide or simply died there.
Yeah.
But it's for all, and I know it's taking me forever to get to this, despite the terrible scent, despite its horrifying visage, it doesn't hurt anybody. It'll turn you over in the bed. It'll scream. It's trying to get your fucking attention, but it didn't attack.
Nope.
It didn't scratch. It didn't torment the children.
Thank God.
Right.
It only fucked
anything.
with people that were in the room, and the only way it fucked with them was almost like a desperate bid to communicate, trying to talk with no sound coming out. And to the sense that are negative and clearly offensive, does that intrinsically mean it's evil? I mean, I've known really good people with bad breath. This is an extreme case, but it doesn't mean you're fucking evil.
Right.
It just means, you need some fucking scope.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe she just needs, a little hug from beyond. That's all.
Yeah,
Just a
well,
little,
she needs
hey,
a Zelda
sorry.
Rubinstein to fucking come in.
Sorry,
and
let's
clean
get you,
that room.
Let's get your corpse out of the basement and get you a proper burial, and your spirit can rest at ease if that's how that shit works. And there you go.
Yeah, I don't know how
solved.
that shit works.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
that's the deal. She's trying to get them to find the bones in the basement, burn the bones.
Very much like
Oh,
the Changeling.
like Freddy Krueger.
And you
burn
got
the
to
bones.
solve the story, the puzzle, and it was 68. No one knew how to do that yet.
You're
Really,
62, but yes, you're right. People knew even less than 62.
yeah. They're like, I don't know this puzzle. I'm out.
Fucking gone. That's it.
And
We're
in all
moving out.
fairness, I would have done exactly what William Adams did. Fuck this noise.
Yeah, you kind of have
Because
to.
even though it might just take an exorcism or it might just be trying to communicate, that's a next tenant problem, not a me problem.
Yeah.
I don't fucking need your
Yeah.
bullshit. I'm not going to fucking deal with this. It's terrifying. I feel icky in my own house. And even if it is contained to a room and a half or whatever, fuck that.
Yeah, no, that's kind of end up being too much to handle. So yeah, no, it's that's super creepy, dude.
And the other thing that lends credibility to me, assuming that what we're hearing is true, is that it's not just William that experienced it. It's poor old Shirley Patterson.
Yeah, a couple
who
people.
is not told a word about it.
Yeah.
And then he sees some shit. All right. So at this point, putting the skeptic hat back on, he had terrible nightmares of corpses falling out of closets, which again could be the murder victim trying to show,
there it is.
what happened in some way. Maybe not, but he didn't see the old lady until Shirley saw the old lady, freaked out. Then Bill went into the room, saw the old lady up in his grill, freaked the fuck out. Then Leo, who had heard about 2 accounts of an old lady, didn't say what he saw, but presumably saw the same thing. So you could say that it's not objective eyewitnesses, but that's what Shirley experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And then that seed was planted in William's mind. So what was before amorphous, nightmares and corpse droppings became, actualized, almost Tulpa-like, or maybe just in his imagination as an old lady. And then that carried through possibly to his brother-in-law's sighting. of, you know, at the very end of it.
Yeah.
So I guess we can't use that as evidence of authenticity, but I'm still more inclined to believe that these people all experiencing a similar apparition means that either A, it is disguised as this, but is like something that's truly demonic and trying to terrify people, though it doesn't seem to be overtly evil or possessing anyone, or it is a genuine apparition of someone who had been done wrong or was somehow attached to the house and died in a way that they didn't feel like they could move on.
Yeah.
And that they were, maybe, like I said, maybe trying to, I mean, if you're, all right, just to go back to the theory we've fucked with a few times here, if you're trying, just assume you're dead, you cannot talk, you don't have, you know, Patrick Swayze to tutel you in the ways of fucking ceramicing with your fucking, you know, your widow, your fucking wife still. You can't speak, you can't really communicate. You're trying to convey that you've been murdered. You give images in minds of you falling out of a door that you were stuck in. You make the house smell of rot, of death. You get in someone's face and you're trying to tell them, and your mouth is moving, but all that's coming out is that scent of death and terrible just nastiness, and you're just trying to convey, like, I'm here. You gotta do it. These are methods that I know I'm going way out on a limb. I know I am pissing into literally a cyclone. And I get that, and Chris, your folded arms and fucking grumpy stare are completely justified. But these would be methods I would employ if I had no other means of conveying. I'm dead. I'm here. Fucking end this shit so I can fucking go on to bigger and better things.
I mean, if whatever limitations ghosts have, if there are such things, I could see that being a thing. I mean, obviously, it's a cinematic trope we've all seen time and time again. But yeah, that could very well be like, I'm stuck, I can't communicate with you, but I need to, you know, get out of here, and or have you find my corpse and resurrect my bones like Freddy Krueger in the junkyard. Right.
Or I think more like the Changeling, the poor crippled kid that was drowned and buried under the house, and they did the whole excavation. Classic George C. Scott film. I recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it. But if ghosts do exist, then they have to have difficulty communicating.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Simply due to the fact that we all have dead people we have known, we have cared about, we have loved, and I can't speak for you guys, but I know I've never had direct or even indirect communication with any of them.
No.
So ghosts must have if they exist, and you know, working on the assumption they do, must have a difficult time connecting, or are unable, or for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't think there's a direct line. I think they're on to the next life, and that's it. But who knows? Maybe in this situation, she's trapped and she's trying to make it known. And boy, if you're on the other end of that call, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because it's just nasty fucking fart breath and weird hisses and getting turned over and doing all kinds of shit. Dogs freaking out. Little T can't fucking talk. It's all fucked up.
Conversely,
it is.
I'm talking about all the things like that she's not hurting people and that she might just be a desperate soul trying to communicate. She could have been right on the cusp of elevating her antics of evil to just fucking to the max and terrifying and hurting and scratching and just doing all sorts of nefarious shit to the family. And William was just smart enough to get the fuck out before
that's what
that
you got to
happened.
do, man. You got to be like William and you got to bail and, you know, get yourself another rental, get yourself a different house, get the hell out of there. Unless you want to invest in a bunch of salt and crystals, I guess, to kind of cleanse the place or whatever. But that might not have been an option. Thank you all so very much. The creepy Cryptonaut podcast. You like that?
3 creepies?
Holy shit. All
Dude,
right.
I've been so bummed out about Halloween, man. I am stoked that you brought us a creepy ass paranormal story.
It's great. It is great. It's when I read it, I was like, thank you, Matt, for putting in that little TARDIS bookmark, because I'm like, that you're right. That is a good one. That gets under your skin because you read it, and Brad Steger always wrote in a way that I remember as a kid, like getting his books out of the library, and when I read them alone at night, my eyes keep going to the closet door over and over again.
No.
And for the record, my bedroom didn't have a door. I just had a big open closet.
Oh,
a big
the
open
worst.
gaping black closet that was like
God.
8 foot long with just a normal sized entrance, but like, 4 feet on each side.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was a nightmare.
There it is. Thank you so very much, Matt Drew, for that awesome, wonderful addition to Robert's Library over here, which we did this episode on. Thank you so very much. We appreciate that. Oh, geez. How do we end the show? I know how we end the show. The social medias, the Instas and the Twitters and the Facebook. Find us over there. Be sure to follow us. The Patreon, patreon.com/Cryptonaut podcast. Sign up over there. $1 is the shout out and the bonus audio. The $5 is the bonus audio and the shout out, and you get about 4 to 5, sometimes 6 episodes a month.
It's
We're just
nuts
we're
now.
breaking laws over here.
We don't give fucks anymore.
Yeah,
clearly.
no, we are clearly blowing through all that. The hellerspace.com, get yourself that gear. It's the holiday season, so the store is constantly going on and off sale.
Yeah.
It's hard for even me to keep up with it because they send me emails like, hey, Mark, you should buy this. I'm like, you can't fucking tell me to buy shit from my own goddamn store.
Ha!
Even though you
I know,
can,
right?
because that's when I buy shit from our stores when it's on sale.
Of
And
course.
You should do that too. Don't ever buy
Right.
shit when it's not on sale.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and also too here we want to take a second. We are recording this on the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we are just days away.
It is actually coming out after Thanksgiving, but in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we would like to take this time to give some shout outs here to our various social teams that we have out there that help us manage
Man, we got
stuff
some
and
good
run
people.
stuff for
We
us.
sure do.
That work really hard and support us so vigorously. It is just, they're the best. It makes me, I'm still shocked. I'm like awed and humbled by how many
for sure.
wicked people are out there, not only supporting us as a podcast, but like doing all sorts of work behind the scenes to make it fun for everybody.
Totally. So we're going to start here with our Facebook fan page that is available. We'll put a link in the description of this podcast. So if you're on Facebook and you want to join up there and check that out, you can do that. So this is
Do it. Before you get anything, do it. It's the best thing on Facebook.
Yes, this is the Facebook admins and mods. We have Robert. Actually, Robert Thompson. He started this
He started
a
it,
long
yeah.
time ago. Yeah.
Robert, thank
Just
you.
a message like, "Hey man, I like your podcast. I want to start this kind of like
asked our
fan-
permission. So
this, like,
sweet.
This like fan community place on
Do
Facebook.
you remember how giddy we were? Like, somebody wants to start a fan page for
I know.
us.
Yeah, 'cause
Fans.
like
Like-
what? Yeah. So we got Robert Thompson. Okay, so here we got Trina,
Trina.
Joyce,
Hell yeah.
Rick,
Oh yeah.
Tanya,
Fucking ain't right.
Ashley,
We got work. No, I'm kidding. You're awesome too.
Walter,
Walter.
Laura, aka
Cram.
Laura,
Cram.
because
God.
I can't say her name properly.
Again, since the
Lord.
very beginning.
Yes.
And Walter, it sounded like I wasn't happy about you. I was surprised. I didn't know you.
Walter is new.
So good shit, Walter. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you all so very much for your support over there on the Facebook
Yeah,
fan
all
page.
of you. Thank you. You guys really make Facebook worth going to. It's just really the best community going.
Totally. So also too, as we have said before, we have a Discord server that is tied to Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, you can check that out. Our Discord is, but besides ourselves here, we have one main admin, and that is Noah, aka Super Producer Noah.
Yeah,
And
boy.
he's helped us out so much with
With our
the
movie
movie
nights.
and he's
Yeah.
had a lot of really good ideas for us for different events in
Oh
the
yeah,
future.
we're gonna have some Q&As and other really cool things coming up, and it's very exciting. So thank you, Noah.
Yeah, definitely, Noah. Thank you so much. Also, too, we have our team Crypto Cord, and that is Guru Blue. Thank you so very much.
I think it's Guru.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dumb. It's
Guru?
Guru. Yeah, no, I literally.
It could be Guru, I guess.
I think
but-
I transposed it with like Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
so,
I get that.
Yeah, I look at Guru Blue.
Yes.
As Rob said, I'm an idiot. I would just call him Blue. So there's that. We got Hecate and literally Jesus.
Oh.
Which every time I see his name, I get a chuckle out of it. I'm like, literally
I know.
Jesus.
It's
right, it's
That's
actually
awesome.
Jesus.
It is
Or
literally
is it
Jesus.
literally Jesus?
Literally, it could be literally Jesus. We're gonna say literally Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Also, too, here on our end for the in-person stuff that we're doing here with the videos, we have a very special, very long-time friend of all of ours, the newest member of the In the Room crypto team, super producer Big Bill Guts.
Oh yeah.
Our buddy Bill
Hell of a floor director.
is out there doing it. And
Good man.
We're stoked to be working with him over here doing videos and stuff because he's an awesome dude. So there it is. Thank you all so very much, everybody from the Facebook mods to the Discord mods to our buddy Bill over here. We appreciate that so very much. And without you guys, we would
Hell
not have
yeah.
any online communities.
Hell yeah.
So,
Oh
totally.
no,
There
it
is.
wouldn't exist. It couldn't function. We wouldn't be able to do it. We just weren't capable.
No,
we
we're
suck.
all bad at social media,
We're
except
really-
maybe
but
Mark.
Mark's
But
better, but
He's better.
nah, by a narrow margin.
Yeah, not really much anymore. But there you have it. Thank you all so very much. And we'll be talking to you soon.
Indeed.
Goodbye.
Happy, safe Thanksgiving in the past that already happened when you hear this. I
Yes.
hope it went well.
yep, pies.
I
Honestly,
hope
it's my favorite
the
part.
pies were great. I love the pies, but I love everything. I love the graves.
Yeah.
I
I
love
do
the,
too. Like, what
Yeah.
graves?
Taters.
I don't know what graves.
the stuffings. Come on, let me do my thing. All right, the
Yes.
Turkins.
Yeah. Eat the dad on Thanksgiving. Way to go.
Oh my
Or
God.
just list off the entire meal. That's fine.
Can't be a podcast where I'm not corrected for how I say something completely wrong and should be
I
corrected.
like the
for it.
graves. Like, okay, great.
The gravies.
Sweet.
Usually just one type of gravy.
All
I've
right.
never actually been to a Thanksgiving where there were multiple gravy varieties. It's
No, that would be
turkey gravy.
weird. Like
Yeah,
it was
would be
beef
weird.
gravy.
Yeah, it'd be
Lots
fucked
of
up.
beef gravy with the turkey.
Yeah, that'd be,
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
that'd be bizarre.
I
yeah.
think turkey gravy is my favorite though.
It's really
I've
good.
had gravies galore, obs, but fucking I love turkey gravy,
Yeah,
and I
it's
love turkey skin. Oh, it's so crispy, and I love the dark meat so much. It's so juicy.
Don't you
The
fuck with that.
underbelly. Oh, of course not.
No,
Of course
I
you are.
don't.
Look at you, waspy
I just
bastard.
Don't. I like lasagna actually on
Oh
Thanksgiving.
my God!
Yeah,
Fuck
I said
you!
it. Yeah, there it
Jesus
is.
Christ! Pot over.
Yep, there it is.
What's wrong with you?
Jeepers.
Chris, say something.
Jeepers sakes.
You just made him go jeepers.
Yeah,
Ugh.
exactly.
Full
You made
jeepers.
me swear not as bad as I normally do. Like, I went beyond swearing to just like
Yeah,
Ned Flanders land.
The milder Chris gets,
It's
the
fine.
angrier he is. That's
Jumping
inside.
Jimmy, this guy.
Oh God! There you
crikey.
have it. Talking to you soon.